What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brian Ash, aka the Handsome Fister. No hat today because you guys didn't comment that I needed a haircut. So I'm going raw for you today. Raw. So anyway, this is a really serious convo and serious topic that I want to touch on today. There's gonna be multiple parts to this one because it's a really in depth topic. Which is depression. Yeah, depression. Um, Depression is caused by many things, and sometimes it's caused by nothing. It's like a real serious, as you would call it, epidemic. But it's not an epidemic. I'll go through kind of what in my mind, because I've dealt with depression in several different forms and levels. And then I'll get to the actual topic of what this video is about in a second. So the things that I believe that cause depression, number one is like life altering events. Um, for example, my dream when I was in like middle school and high school was to travel the world, and then I got sick. And so when I got sick, while all my friends were working their summer jobs or working their other jobs, like I had to work like super part time for a long time because I just couldn't work from being sick. So I didn't have money, and then I was still going through it after I graduated high school. So I didn't travel because I needed to go to college, have a full workload of college classes so I could keep my parents' insurance, so I could get, so I could, be healthy and be here today. So um, that 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 drained me for a very long time, and I used to get angry and depressed, and I would go through these phases and ask, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Like, what did I do to deserve it? But nevertheless, that's just it's part of life. And so yeah, life altering things. If a loved one, a family member, a child, a friend passes away, or something happens to them, that could cause a mass depression as well. I've seen it. Um, it's happened to me. Uh, I can't get into the details of what happened yet, but it's happened to me. So that totally changed my perspective. But it ended up motivating me to do this. That life altering event changed my way of thinking for me to do this. But it took a good probably 8 to 10 months of like grieving in my head. And I've seen it because one of my kids has dealt with this when one of their best friends passed away, and she still deals with it, and it breaks my heart because there's nothing I could do except for listen. Um, Having children, especially in women, can cause depression because their body changes, their life changes, their sleep patterns, their schedules change. They feel like it's them against the world. Now, that is the topic that I'm going to discuss today is postpartum depression. but I want to get into some other things as well too. So I went through life altering events, um, tragedies like a death of a family member, child, or loved one, or a friend, and the nothing at all. The nothing at all to where, you know, one day you could be absolutely perfect and life is awesome and you're succeeding and you're hitting these goals and life is awesome, and then the next day you just wake up and you can't breathe. Like you feel like you can't breathe, and you feel like the whole world is against you. And that happens to me so much. There's I can't even explain that part of it. And so excuse me. So the main thing for me with depression or handling depression is what most people want when they're dealing with it or struggling with it is somebody just to listen. Don't say a word. Just listen to me talk. I don't need advice at that moment. I don't need to pick me up. Just listen or leave me alone. Like let me go down into my dungeon and just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be alone. Which there's other times where the talking to somebody really helps because you can't stand to be in your own head. Mac Miller said it the best. It's I've been stuck in my brain like it's a purgatory because there's certain people who have traits to where they cannot stop thinking, good, bad, or indifferent. They can't stop thinking, and it hurts them, and it hurts because they can't sleep, they're not eating right, they're not exercising, they're underperforming at work, or they're trying to overperform at work and they're making mistakes. Where all people need at certain times is to be alone, someone to just listen and not talk. Because if I wanted your advice, I'd ask for it. I just need to get it off my chest because it hurts and I hurt. So let me get to the postpartum thing, and there's a reason I'm making this video. It's a real it's a I have a coworker whose child had a child right after high school, and she um, is a superb human being, both mother and child. So successful in school, was on, just was succeeding to the max, and going away to school, gonna, create this life, and then she got pregnant, which was a good thing. Like everything was good, but when she had the baby, sleep schedule changes, not eating right, not sleeping right, and she got depressed, and because when you have a baby, you can't work for like 6 to 8 weeks because your body's got to heal, and so she's stressed out because her boyfriend is you know handling a lot of the load financially, and so is mom handling a lot of load financially, helping out, and she feels bad about that, and with the life changes, she's not going to school. She's being a mom. She's a great mom, beautiful baby. Doesn't look like an alien like most babies do, really. And she came by the office yesterday, and she, you know, she told you could just tell she was tired, and you could just tell that she needed someone just to listen, not talk, not give advice, not be alone. She just wanted someone to listen to her. And I felt so bad because I was busy. I saw it in her eyes, but I was at work and I was busy and I couldn't just listen. Like what I really wanted to do, like if I had the time, if I would have had 20, 30, 40 minutes of time, I would have, just, hey, come to my office and talk for a minute. I would have asked questions, but I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have, said it, gave any advice. I would have just listened. Because sometimes that's all people need is just to listen. And it's hard. It's hard for parents to do that because I fail all the time with my, like what I told you about my kid losing her best friend. And every time that she wanted me to just listen, parent kicked in. Like I wanted to save her, I wanted to help, I wanted to talk to her, I wanted to give her advice, I wanted to get her out of her mode. And I failed because I realized that when everyone did that to me, and I just it was an epiphany yesterday, last night when I was playing video games, that I failed her because I just didn't listen. So yeah, I mean, there's millions upon millions of people dealing with depression for multiple different reasons, and I just want every single person to know that I'll listen. I'll listen. Hit me up on the phone. Hit me up in an instant messenger, DM. I'll listen. You know, I'll help. If you need it, if you want advice, I mean, shit, my life's all fucked up, but I'll help. I'll give you advice because depression hurts worse than broken bones. It hurts worse than anything. And I just want every single person to know that's dealing with depression that I understand and I love every single one of you. And if you need anything from me, I'll do the best that I can to help you. Because my heart was broken yesterday because I couldn't help. I thought about it the whole night and into the today, and I went to bed about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to be up at 4:30, but that glaring image in my head of not helping that poor girl or just listening to that poor girl, broke my heart because she's a fantastic mom. She's a fantastic daughter, granddaughter. You know, everyone speaks so highly, and I just want you to know that I do have a little piece of advice that don't feel ashamed that you're not financially helping currently. It's okay for people to help you because for what you're not contributing financially, you are contributing in other ways like changing more diapers, feeding the baby, getting up in the middle of the night so he can sleep because he's got to go to work the next day. Um, you know, Cleaning the house, giving the baby a bath. Like that's important shit. That is so important. That is really, really important. Everything that moms do is important. And one thing that I can't stress enough is that I'm a mama's boy. Most kids are mama's kids because kids know that mom is the rock. So you might not know it, you might not believe it, you might not even think it right now, but you're the rock. You're the heart and soul. And everything that you're doing matters. Everything that he's doing matters. It's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? Like I traveled for work. So my ex-wife did 99% of the kid stuff. My wife did 99% of the D stuff because I was making a living, and I never downgraded the fact that they did that or do that. It's not a bad thing to be the best mom. It's not a bad thing to have the cleanest house. It's not a bad thing to cook dinner. And if roles were reversed, for instance, um, if on the off chance that I had married a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or somebody who was a plant manager, and I wasn't, and I was just you know a worker, or someone who was in school trying to make a life, and we got pregnant, and she had asked me to stay home and raise the kids, I would do the best that I could. Nothing's as good as mom, but I would have did the best that I could, because contributions of all kinds are important. So, um, man, I lost my train of thought a little bit. This is just such a serious topic for me. So yeah, don't feel bad, don't feel ashamed, because you don't feel like you're doing your part, because you're doing more than your part. Being a mom, like my mom was a stay-at-home mom for most of it. My mom had jobs, she had careers, but it was mostly when we were teenagers. Um, my mom is my rock. She's my heart and soul. I love my mom more than anybody. Like anybody. If my mom were to look at if when I was dating, and my mom was to look at someone and say, "That's not the one," that's not the one, she was gone. Moms have power. So anyway, this is just episode one of my talking to depression. I don't know when I'm gonna get back to it, because I still gotta get back to business culture, still gotta get back to branding. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this helps everyone out. This is probably my longest vlog ever, but this was really serious to me, and it meant a lot to me, and I felt heartbroken that I didn't listen yesterday. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not listening. And I'm sorry for not listening to my own kid when I could see in her eyes that she was just broken. So anyway, it's your boy Brian Ash, aka the Handsome Fister. Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, subscribe, share it, comment. Where did I mess up in this depression? How can I better explain it? You know, that's all I got. I hope this just helps one person, and I hope it's you. It's your boy Brian Ash, aka the Handsome Fister, and I love you all. Have a good night. Peace.